feelings, right? So if your wife says,
Right.
do I look fat in those jeans? You put on your consequentialist hat and you say, you've never looked more beautiful, because maybe she's put on a bit of weight, but you don't want to hurt her feelings. So you lie to, and for most of us, we go through life in most instances putting on a consequentialist hat. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to link it now to our discussion. To have, for example, a deontological principle that says that I am always an isolationist. Do you understand what I mean by here, deontological? Meaning that it doesn't matter what the environment is out there. I, as America, will never interfere in wars over there. That can't be an optimal strategy, right? Because, so for example, if you were a deontological pacifist, you say, under no circumstances do I believe that violence is the solution. Well, what would usually happen to a society if it adhered to deontological pacifism?
They'll be attacked.
They'd be eradicated, right? So it can't be that for some of these geopolitical issues, there is a rule that in its nature is deontological. So many of the Americans that are anti this war are very, very staunchly steeped in sort of a libertarian slash deontological isolationist perspective. Now, in many cases, I would completely agree with that position in that it's not the Americans' position to have to go and be the policeman of everywhere in the world. But let's contrast it, say, with when World War II was about to happen, the appeasement strategy of Chamberlain, right? This guy with the little mustache says, don't worry about it. I absolutely have no design to do anything bad. You swear, Adolf, it's all good? Yeah, don't worry. Promise, you really don't, even though you're moving all of your stuff, you're a good guy, right? I can trust you. Yeah, of course you can. So appeasement only works if the other person is someone that can be fully trustworthy. It is almost incontestable that if the Iranian regime in its current form could ever cause great damage to everybody, not only Israel, right? I mean, the Gulf countries are not exactly putting up barriers against this war because they also are the enemies of the Iranians. So it's undoubtable that, of course, the Americans have the Israelis in their ear pushing for their self-interest. But that's also called the reality of every nation on earth. Every entity fights for its own interests. But that doesn't mean that the Americans are so lacking in personal agency, are so gullible, are so easy to puppeteer that there must be this Zionist lobby that otherwise is pushing us into an unnecessary war. Maybe another 3 years, maybe another 5 years, maybe another 10 years, it would have resulted in a disaster. So if you